Imagine waking up tomorrow and feeling like your brain is on autopilot, scattered, anxious, reactive. Now, imagine a different morning where your mind feels sharp, focused, and unstoppable from the very first moment. That difference isn't luck, it's strategy. Today, I'm going to give you 12 life lessons you can practice every morning that literally shape your mind, your decisions, and your outcomes before most people have even had coffee. If you want to truly master your mornings, don't just watch this. Start tomorrow. Pick even 3 of these lessons, and I promise your mind will start changing in ways you didn't think were possible. The first thought you have when you wake up is more powerful than most people realize. It acts as the ignition for your entire day, setting the tone for your decisions, your energy, and even your emotional state. When you wake up and immediately allow your mind to drift to worries, messages, or endless distractions, you are giving your mental power away before the day has even begun. Controlling your first thought means consciously choosing what enters your mind in that critical first moment. This could be a thought of purpose, intention, or affirmation. By focusing on something constructive or empowering, you create a ripple effect throughout your day. Your brain starts to look for opportunities instead of problems, and your actions begin to align with the mindset you've chosen. This practice isn't about forcing positivity or ignoring reality. It's about taking ownership of your mental state before external events have a chance to control it. Even something as simple as thinking, "Today, I will take control of my time and my energy," can drastically alter the trajectory of your day. Over time, consistently controlling your first thought builds a strong habit of mental discipline, allowing you to respond rather than react, to lead rather than drift, and to create rather than consume. This single habit transforms your mornings from a reactive routine into a deliberate launchpad, giving your mind the clarity, focus, and resilience it needs to navigate challenges and maximize opportunities from the moment you open your eyes. Starting your morning with gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to rewire your brain and shape your day. When you focus on the things you are thankful for, you shift your mind away from scarcity, frustration, or worry, and instead tune it to abundance, possibility, and opportunity. Gratitude is not just a feel-good exercise. It actively changes the chemistry of your brain. When you consciously recognize even small blessings, like a supportive friend, a comfortable bed, or a new chance to improve, you activate neural pathways that increase positive emotions and reduce stress. This simple practice creates a foundation for clarity, focus, and resilience. Many people wake up automatically reacting to problems, emails, or the demands of others, which sets a tone of tension and urgency. Gratitude interrupts that pattern, putting you in a state of control and awareness. The most effective way to practice it is to identify 3 things you genuinely appreciate each morning. These don't have to be monumental. Small, specific acknowledgments are often more powerful because they train your mind to notice what is already working in your life. As you repeat this practice consistently, your perspective shifts. You begin to see challenges as manageable, setbacks as temporary, and opportunities as abundant. Your mornings become anchored in recognition of what is present and meaningful, which strengthens your mental resilience. Gratitude primes your brain to act rather than react, to create rather than complain, and to approach the day with energy, optimism, and purpose. Starting your morning by achieving small, deliberate actions or micro wins is a subtle but incredibly effective way to build momentum for the entire day. Micro wins are the tiny victories that might seem insignificant at first glance. Making your bed, drinking a glass of water, or completing a short task you've been avoiding. But their impact on your mind is profound. When you accomplish something immediately after waking, your brain experiences a sense of progress and competence. This triggers the release of dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for motivation and focus, which naturally propels you into further action. These small wins create a chain reaction, making it easier to tackle bigger challenges later because your mind has already been conditioned to succeed. Many people underestimate the psychological power of beginning the day with completion. Without micro wins, your mind can start in a state of indecision, distraction, or procrastination, leaving you feeling scattered and reactive. By intentionally structuring a morning routine that includes achievable actions, you train your brain to prioritize results over hesitation. This practice is not about overloading yourself with tasks, but about creating immediate momentum that reinforces discipline and consistency. Over time, micro wins develop a habit of productivity, focus, and confidence. They teach your mind that you are capable, that you can follow through, and that each action, no matter how small, contributes to larger outcomes. By stacking these small victories at the start of your day, you set the tone for a day defined by progress, clarity, and unstoppable energy. Physical movement in the morning does more than wake your body. It ignites your mind. When you move, whether through stretching, a short workout, or even a brisk walk, your brain receives a surge of oxygen and blood flow, which immediately enhances mental clarity, focus, and energy. This isn't just about physical fitness. It's about priming your nervous system for optimal performance. Movement stimulates the release of endorphins, which elevate mood, and neurotrophins, which improve cognitive function and memory. By incorporating even a few minutes of deliberate activity first thing, you signal to your brain that the day has begun and that you are ready to engage with it fully. Many people underestimate how much their mental state is tied to their physical state. Sitting up slowly and scrolling through a phone leaves the brain in a passive, reactive mode, whereas moving actively puts it in a proactive, alert mode. This increased alertness improves decision-making, problem-solving, and creativity throughout the day. Even small movements like reaching, twisting, or walking around the house create a sense of momentum that extends beyond your body and into your thinking patterns. Over time, this practice strengthens the connection between mind and body, building resilience and energy that carry through challenges. By prioritizing movement in the first moments of your day, you create a natural rhythm that enhances focus, sharpens mental acuity, and prepares your brain to tackle tasks with clarity and purpose, making every morning a launch pad for high performance. Spending a few minutes each morning practicing mindful awareness can completely transform the way your mind navigates the day. Mindfulness is the act of observing your thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations without judgment or immediate reaction. Most people wake up and immediately get swept into routines, emails, notifications, or worries, letting external circumstances dictate their mental state. By consciously pausing and observing your internal landscape, you create a space between stimulus and response, which allows you to choose your actions rather than react impulsively. This practice strengthens self-awareness, helping you recognize patterns of thinking that may be unproductive or negative. Even a brief session of mindful observation can heighten focus, reduce stress, and improve emotional regulation. For example, simply noticing tension in your body, the flow of your breath, or recurring thoughts allows your brain to reset and operate from a place of clarity. Over time, mindfulness rewires neural pathways, enhancing attention, memory, and decision-making. It also cultivates resilience because you learn to observe challenges without being consumed by them. Many high performers and leaders attribute their ability to stay calm under pressure to this simple practice. By training your mind to be present, you reduce mental clutter, increase intentionality, and develop a heightened sense of control over your reactions. Morning mindfulness doesn't require hours of meditation. Even a few focused minutes can anchor your mind, improve clarity, and set a powerful tone for the rest of the day. Affirming your identity each morning is a powerful way to strengthen your mind and anchor your actions in purpose. Your identity is the collection of beliefs, values, and self-perceptions that guide how you think, behave, and respond to challenges. Most people start their day reacting to external circumstances, allowing the opinions of others, societal expectations, or past experiences to shape their mindset. By consciously affirming who you are and what you stand for, you take control of your mental state before the world begins to influence it. This practice involves speaking or thinking statements that reinforce your values, strengths, and goals. For example, telling yourself, I am disciplined, focused, and capable of handling challenges primes your mind to act in alignment with those qualities. These affirmations are not about wishful thinking. They are about consciously reinforcing the identity you want to embody. Repeating them consistently trains your subconscious mind to align with your conscious intentions, making it easier to make decisions that reflect your true self. When your identity is clear, your actions become intentional rather than reactive, and you navigate the day with confidence and purpose. Over time, affirming your identity strengthens self-belief, reduces self-doubt, and increases resilience against external pressures. Morning affirmations create a mental framework that influences not just how you think, but how you respond, perform, and pursue your goals. By beginning the day with clarity about who you are, you ensure that every action you take aligns with the person you want to become, building a strong, focused, and unstoppable mind. Visualizing your day each morning is a technique that trains your mind to perform at its highest level before any real challenges arise. When you take a few minutes to mentally rehearse the events, tasks, and interactions ahead, you are essentially giving your brain a roadmap for success. Visualization is not about daydreaming. It is about creating a vivid, detailed image of how you want your day to unfold, including your behaviors, decisions, and emotional responses. The mind does not always distinguish between imagined experiences and real ones. By seeing yourself handling situations with confidence, focus, and composure, you prime your neural pathways to act in alignment with that vision. This practice reduces anxiety because your brain has already run through potential obstacles and rehearsed solutions, giving you a sense of preparedness. Many high achievers use visualization to anticipate challenges, boost performance, and strengthen mental resilience. It also aligns your conscious intentions with your subconscious programming, making it easier to stay motivated and consistent throughout the day. The key is to be specific and emotionally engaged during the process. Picture conversations, visualize, completing tasks efficiently, and feel the emotions associated with success, whether it's calm, confidence, or satisfaction. Over time, morning visualization enhances focus, sharpens decision-making, and increases your ability to respond effectively under pressure. By taking the time each morning to see your day in advance, you train your mind to execute with clarity, purpose, and precision, turning mental rehearsal into real-world achievement and giving your day a sense of control and direction from the very start. Feeding your brain with quality information first thing in the morning is one of the most effective ways to shape your mindset and performance throughout the day. The content you consume at the start of your day sets the tone for your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Most people instinctively reach for social media, news, or messages, which often leads to reactive thinking, distraction, or unnecessary stress. Instead, dedicating even a few minutes to reading, listening, or watching something inspiring, educational, or motivational primes your mind for growth and focus. When you expose your brain to ideas that challenge you, expand your perspective, or reinforce positive habits, you strengthen neural pathways that support learning, creativity, and problem solving. This practice also influences your emotional state. Uplifting or informative content increases confidence, curiosity, and resilience, while negative or trivial content can generate anxiety, doubt, or complacency. Feeding your mind in the morning acts like fueling a car before a long journey. The quality of the fuel determines how smoothly and efficiently you perform. Over time, this habit cultivates a mindset that is proactive, solution-oriented, and open to new possibilities. It also creates consistency in learning and personal development, making growth a daily routine rather than an occasional effort. By prioritizing the information you take in during the first moments of your day, you shape your thoughts, decisions, and actions to align with success, clarity, and purpose, ensuring that your mind is sharp, resilient, and ready to tackle challenges from the moment you wake. Detaching from distractions in the morning is a critical practice for building mental clarity and focus. Most people start their day by immediately reaching for their phones, checking emails, or scrolling through social media, allowing external stimuli to dictate their mental state. This habit creates a reactive mind, scattered attention, and unnecessary stress before the day has even begun. By intentionally delaying these distractions, you protect your mental energy and create space to set the tone for your day. The first moments after waking are when your brain is most malleable, able to absorb positive habits, clarity, and intentional thinking. When you engage with notifications or information overload too early, you surrender control of your mindset to others' agendas and the constant demands of digital noise. Choosing to detach means prioritizing your own goals, thoughts, and emotional state over immediate consumption. It allows you to focus on practices that strengthen your mind, such as gratitude, visualization, or planning, without interference. Over time, this habit trains your brain to become more disciplined, resilient, and capable of sustained focus. It also reduces stress because you are not constantly reacting to incoming stimuli or comparing yourself to others. By creating a morning routine free from distractions, you gain control over the most influential part of your day, your first hour. This intentional start builds a strong foundation of focus, clarity, and mental energy, giving you the capacity to perform at a higher level, make better decisions, and approach challenges with purpose and presence. Planning your day with purpose each morning is a transformative habit that shapes how effectively you use your time and energy. Many people wake up and move through the day reactively, responding to emails, notifications, or urgent demands without a clear sense of priorities. This reactive approach creates stress, inefficiency, and a constant feeling of being behind. Planning with purpose means taking intentional control over your day by identifying the most important tasks and aligning your actions with your goals. It's not about filling a schedule with activities, but about focusing on the few critical actions that will move you forward. When you define your top priorities first thing in the morning, you give your mind a roadmap and reduce the cognitive load of constant decision-making throughout the day. This practice enhances focus, discipline, and mental clarity because your brain knows exactly where to direct energy and attention. Purposeful planning also increases resilience, as it helps you navigate unexpected challenges without losing sight of what truly matters. The key is to prioritize tasks that align with long-term goals rather than just immediate demands or distractions. Over time, consistently, planning your day strengthens decision-making, reduces procrastination, and cultivates a mindset of control rather than reaction. By beginning each morning with intentional planning, you set a strong foundation for productivity, efficiency, and clarity, ensuring that your actions are always aligned with your values, objectives, and the person you want to become. Questioning limiting beliefs in the morning is a powerful way to free your mind and create new possibilities for your day. Most people carry unconscious beliefs about themselves, their abilities, or their potential. Thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," "I always fail," or "this is too hard." These beliefs often go unchallenged and shape behavior, decisions, and emotional responses in subtle but profound ways. By taking time each morning to identify and question these limiting beliefs, you actively interrupt the patterns that hold you back. This process involves asking yourself whether these thoughts are true, whether they serve your goals, and what evidence exists to challenge them. Doing this primes your mind to adopt a mindset of growth, possibility, and resilience, rather than one constrained by fear, doubt, or past experiences. It also strengthens self-awareness, helping you recognize when old patterns are trying to influence your actions throughout the day. Questioning limiting beliefs is not about blind optimism. It's about creating mental clarity and empowering yourself to act from a place of possibility instead of restriction. Over time, this habit rewires your thinking, making it easier to take risks, embrace challenges, and pursue goals without being held back by internal obstacles. Morning reflection on your Beliefs ensures that you start the day aligned with your purpose and capability rather than restricted by fear or doubt. By confronting and reframing limiting beliefs, you build a mind that is confident, adaptable, and prepared to seize opportunities as they arise, turning every morning into a launch pad for growth and achievement. Starting your morning by anchoring yourself emotionally is one of the most effective ways to set the tone for your entire day. Emotions are powerful drivers of thought and behavior, and the state you choose at the beginning of the day can influence every decision, interaction, and action you take. Most people wake up passively, letting stress, anxiety, or external pressures determine their emotional state, which can lead to reactivity, distraction, and diminished performance. Anchoring emotionally means intentionally selecting a dominant emotional state, such as confidence, calm, curiosity, or determination, and fully immersing yourself in it before engaging with the world. This can be done through visualization, affirmations, breathing exercises, or recalling moments when you felt powerful and capable. By consistently practicing this habit, you train your brain to associate mornings with control and intentionality, rather than chaos and reaction. This emotional foundation strengthens resilience, allowing you to handle challenges without being overwhelmed or derailed. It also enhances focus and clarity because your mind is operating from a stable, positive state rather than being hijacked by fear, doubt, or distraction. Anchoring emotionally is not about suppressing negative feelings, but about choosing the dominant state from which you respond to situations. Over time, this practice reinforces self-mastery and mental discipline, enabling you to maintain energy, motivation, and composure regardless of external circumstances. By starting each day anchored in a strong emotional state, you set yourself up to think clearly, act intentionally, and perform at your best from the very first moment you wake.